but it's only temporary. The virus is still there, in the body, gradually taking control. The best treatment so far, recognized by doctors the world over, is a lifetime taking antiretroviral drugs, or ARVs. These hold the HIV virus at bay. Jammeh's patients have to stop taking ARVs. It's a condition of their treatment. Their lives are in his hands.
Do you think you're cured of AIDS? That
Yes.
you're cured of HIV?
I still have some, level of viral load, but I believe in time I will be cured, yes.
Do you think that if you carry on with the treatment, you could be cured?
Yes, it will be cured.
Today's session goes on until 4 a.m., and that isn't unusual.
But you are laughing, you think that's funny?
Everyone is exhausted.
Does it concern you slightly that there could be an attitude within the public that the president has a cure for AIDS, we don't have to worry about it, and that could affect their behavior, their sexual behavior, and possibly cause a spread?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think the mere fact that the hospital can fix fractures does not mean that anybody will stand or try to cross a busy highway, knowing that if you are crossed without dying, the hospital can fix it. I don't think anybody would joke with AIDS. If you have seen what I've seen, you see the type of how people suffer. At close range, you see how people, AIDS victims, how their bodies are destroyed. I don't think anybody in his or her correct state of mind would really flirt with a disease like AIDS.
Jammeh's dream is to turn his country into the Dubai of Africa, a free trading, free enterprise economy. He wants to dramatically improve the standard of living of all Gambians. Every night, the television news puts out more propaganda. But do Jammeh's claims of a cure for AIDS turn his country into an international laughingstock rather than a respected trading center? While Jammeh treats his patients at the State House, youngsters party the night away in the capital's nightclubs. Many of these young people are most at risk from AIDS, and they seem to have been brainwashed into believing that HIV is curable.
Do you believe that the president of Gambia can cure HIV/AIDS?
Yeah, 100%.
Let us try and believe, because he's the first man to say it, and whatever he says, he does it. Let's have a hope and trust in him.
A cure for AIDS is something that the world is yearning for. So if we see somebody who says he can do it, we should give that person a chance and support him.
On Saturdays, asthma takes center stage. The treatment looks a bit like the one for AIDS. It's just that the blend of herbs is different, and it only takes 5 minutes to cure. To his supporters, Jammeh is a well-intentioned miracle worker. To his critics, he's a megalomaniac who risks harming AIDS awareness programs across a continent where the illness is already ravaging the population. But Jammeh has no doubts. He says he's on a mission.
Let me make one thing very clear. I'm not here to advertise my medicine. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to administer what I can do. And that's the most important thing.
Well, following his defeat in elections last December, Jammeh initially refused to cede power to the victor and now President Adama Barrow. Al Jazeera's Nick Hack has been covering that story, so we caught up with him to ask about the situation there now, but also to find out more about the former ruler's years in office. Nick, thanks very much for joining us. Now, the president who famously once said that he would rule for 1 billion years has recently been ousted. Where is Jammeh now?
Well, Laura, Yahya Jammeh now is in Malabo, which is the capital of Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea is not a signatory of the International Criminal Court, which means that Yahya Jammeh cannot be prosecuted for any crimes that he might be accused of by human rights organizations under his 22-year rule.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Will there be any sort of investigation, do you think?
Well, we spoke to Adama Barrow, the new president of Gambia, just after he was sworn into office, and he said that it was very important to put in place a Truth and Reconciliation Commission in order to heal the wounds of those 22 years of Yahya Jammeh's power. Remember, the human rights organization have accused his security forces of gross human rights violation, torture, enforced disappearance, killing of people in the opposition, of opponents of his.
How much support does Jammeh still enjoy in Gambia? I mean, how much opposition does the new president, Adama Barrow, face?
Well, there was only 20,000 votes that separated Yahya Jammeh to Adama Barrow. So a part of the population did support Yahya Jammeh and did vote for him. And remember the scenes when he left that famous night at the airport, when he left the country. He was holding the Quran in his hand, and there were scenes of soldiers and women weeping as he left and as he flew off the tarmac in Gambia.
We saw in Andrew's piece there this extraordinary belief that he has of himself and that others have in him as a healer of HIV/AIDS. How will that legacy go on? Do people still believe that he did indeed have the cure?
Absolutely, Laura. He believes that he can cure HIV and AIDS with water, a prayer, and a banana. And that belief really helped him to hold on to power, because in that part of the world, in West Africa, traditional healing has an important part in society. And the reason being is because there isn't the hospitals and the doctors there to offer the treatment for normal diseases.
I'm just wondering how all those years in power where he made people believe that he could cure them has set the country back in its fight against the disease.
According to Gambian statistics, only 1% of the population has HIV and AIDS. Like many Muslim countries, the prevalence seems to be not that high. But the issue here is that Yahya Jammeh has used this idea that he can cure people with HIV and AIDS, that he has these superpowers to threaten people in the opposition. And so this idea that he could heal HIV and AIDS, this drug, this disease that affects so many people, was seen in Gambia as a way for him to reinforce his position of power, that he is all superseding, that he has the ability to really cure people, that he has the ability to punish people, that he is really the figurehead of Gambia, and that no one could take him out of power.
Nick, it's been great talking to you, especially to see how Gambia has moved on since Jammeh was in power. Thanks very much.